Within this video, we're going to review ideas, topics, and skills from Chapter 7 and 8. We're going to review these ideas by looking back to questions that were used on previous exams. In this video, you will find 14 questions. These specific questions will not be on your upcoming test, but I'm confident that the topics probably will be. What do I want you to do within this video? Pause the video as you go through and try to answer every question. You can share your answer. You can reflect on your own understanding. What can you do? What can't you do? What parts do you understand, not understand? What makes the question easy or difficult? Providing explanations besides just your answer would be great. Having conversations and answering questions from your classmates, highly recommended for your own learning and for theirs. Another great strategy, propose related questions. Consider what's being asked, identify the topic. How else might the question be proposed? You don't need to spend the same amount of time on every question. As I mentioned, there's 14 questions. I think the more thoughtfully you engage with each one, the more you get out of it, but don't feel like you need to write an essay for every single question. Here's our first question. Which of the following is the best Lewis structure? Pause the video, share your thoughts. The effective nuclear charge increases slightly moving down a column. Why is that? Which of these periodic trends has the strongest influence on the first ionization energy of an atom? Which of the following steps in the Born-Haber cycle represents the enthalpy change associated with the electron affinity? Melting point is often proportional to lattice energy. Which compound is expected to have the greatest melting point? Which reaction corresponds to the third ionization energy for aluminum? The bond enthalpy of carbon-hydrogen is 414 kilojoules per mole, and carbon-bromine is 285 kilojoules per mole. Which of these reactions is the most exothermic? Which species requires resonance to explain the fact that all bond lengths within the species are equal in length? Which of these is the ground state electron configuration of copper 2+? Rank the following in chronological order of their discovery, from the oldest to the newest. A negative electron affinity means it's energetically favorable to add an electron. For which of these is the electron affinity the most negative? Place the following atoms or ions in order by increasing size. The Lewis structure of which compound below must contain a double bond? Which bond exhibits the most covalent character? One final question for you. What is your current perspective on your ability to answer questions from Chapter 7 and 8? Within class, you'll get feedback on your work. You'll get feedback on the kinds of ideas that the class shared, and I'll extend the ideas and take them in some new directions so you can continue to practice. Share with me, though, what is your current perspective on your ability to answer questions like these from Chapter 7 and 8?